If life is that hard for you, fam, come on, man. Because life is always going to be hard. So now you need to ask yourself, are you going to be weak in life or are you going to get strong? Because if you're weak in life, let me tell you something. That's why I refuse for me and you, my love, to raise a boy that is not ready for any and everything. Because if you are out here and you are thinking, oh, the world is a safe place, all you are is food to the predators. That's it. Nothing else. Mm-hmm. And you best believe it, there are predators out here because, especially in our community, we endorse a baby mama culture. So you have a whole lot of boys that are all filled with feminine emotion and no rational male thinking where they're like, okay, so now if I'm having beef, what should I do? How do I de escalate the situation? Or am I ready to lose my life over this? And that's why little homies is out here killing each other, killing themselves, is because they didn't grow up with a father who taught them how to process your emotions. Because the first time your father beats your ass, you are filled with all the rage and you're like, I want to fight this nigga. But when you realize you can't, you're like, okay, wait, why did I get a butt whipping? Overseas. And if your father is a man of God or a man of any sort of value, principle, substance, right? Then he's explaining to you before the beat, not before, let's stop calling it beatings, before the spanking and after the spanking. Overseas. So you understand that as a man, you are always going to be held to your consequences. There's no way around it. Don't let your mama tell you anything different. Because you're like, if you believe or you are ever not gonna be held accountable for the consequences of your actions as a man, I stay in your mother's house, fam. Because as soon as you come out here, you're with the predators, you're with the wolves, and if you soft, you're food. That's it. Why would you raise your son to be food? I wouldn't, cause I ain't food, fam. Nah, hell nah, fam. Listen, like. We can talk all we want, but once you make it physical with me or you cross my boundaries when I made it clear, oh, nah, these are my boundaries and you will not cross them, then we have to take it to whatever it is. And that's what we need to realize, or hey, bruh, we need to be raising young men with convictions. And convictions means, or you find something that you can believe in, that you're willing to die, kill, and go to hell for. And if you're not willing to do none of that for it, then it's not a conviction, bro. It's indoctrination. Which brings us to today's topic, which is 1994 really happened, and yet us, as black people in South Africa, are still acting like victims. It's exactly what you were saying earlier, my love. Or yo, fam, we're 30 years from 1993, and I was born in 1986, so I was 6 years old. Mm. I was 6 years old in 1993. Wait, what? No, what? No, it can't be.
You were turning 7.
Yeah, turning 7 because I was 8 years old. Or I was I was turning. Yeah, that's probably what got me confused. I remember I was already in my second school in 1994, and I was in grade 2. So that's the year I turned 8. But you're right, when I was 7 when the first elections happened, and now we have to ask ourselves, or let's check the scoreboard. What have the results been, or because I remember many years ago, I read an article that said how the liberation movements don't necessarily translate into the best governing parties. And we're seeing it in real life. We have 30 years of proof. One thought? Because also, let's keep it real, bruh. When we were raising hell in Mzansi, trying to fight for our rights, trying to establish laws that work for all of us, where was the ANC leadership, fam? Somewhere away on vacation, and they'll tell you themselves, mina mbuye Moscow, mina bengse Lusaka, mina bengse Robben Island, all places where none of the actual fighting and action happened, bruh. Even when O.R. Tambo, his damn self, was telling us to make the townships ungovernable, where even when O.R. Tambo himself was telling us make the townships ungovernable, he was nowhere near a township, let alone South Africa itself. So you tell me, bro, how are the people who were not here when we were actually like going head to head with the so-called oppressor, right? How do they get to lead us now? How did we get juked into that? You know what I mean? Like, how did we get sold such a dream? And you realize, oh yeah, it was all a dream, fam. Which is why we're so disillusioned today, fam. Because this is what we have to realize, alright. the longest running crisis in South Africa. We've known crises for as long as we've been alive, right? But the longest running crisis in South Africa has always been leadership. You understand me? That the reason why the old government that used to run the republic had to go was because their leaders were not up to what the people needed. And we come from a Basotho culture and Ubuntu culture where Morena ke Morena ka Setjhaba. So what I'm trying to explain to you, fam, is listen, as crazy as it sounds, we might have had more social cohesion in our country before 1994. You know why? Because the Basotho people could get together in their own territory and decide on what their laws are going to be, and agree with each other and live peacefully and harmoniously amongst each other. Understand? The Venda people could do the same. The Afrikaans people could do the same. The Pedi people could do the same. So I understand, or sometimes it sounds like what I'm advocating for is more party, but what I'm saying is we need to understand what republics are. Republics are, especially a democratic republic. A democratic republic is where the people decide, okay, these are our values, these are our laws, these are our principles, and this is the leader that we're choosing to uphold those principles and those values and those laws, right? Because check it out, everything we have post 94 has been manufactured. The people of Bophuthatswana still love that Demangope to this day. The people of Kwakwa still cry about had that Demopedi was still here, this wouldn't be happening. You understand? And I'm pretty sure it's the same everywhere. I'm telling you, even in townships, if you talk to people who remember real history, not Sarafina on every June 16th, people who remember real history will tell you about Makomarid. I remember when we had men in our community who were literally like, they were willing to kill, die, and go to hell or jail for the community, which is why they organized us, like made sure we knew what to do, what our responsibility was, and that was the same for all of us. You feel me? So I don't know how we accepted that people that were away, again, like struggle credentials in South Africa right now are that you were in exile. You were exiled. Nah, homie, what about the people that stayed and fight? Stood and fought. What about the people who stayed to fight? You were somewhere away on an island or in a foreign country, and you were the hero, kanja. You were the leader, kanja. Nah, fam, nah, hell no. Like what I'm saying is we need to rechange our narrative of history, because right now the narrative that they're building is destroying our community completely. Because we come from a time when even in our country, under oppressive conditions, right, we were still like a decent people, a people of God, people who believed in something, people who were willing to build their communities, protect their communities. Children were taught to be something more than influencers and drug addicts. Do you understand what I'm saying? So now we've lost all that culture because, I forget who the guy is, but he tells you how like Marxism works. And ANC is like a proud Marxist. And you don't trust anyone who believes in any ism, fam. If there's any ism that I believe in is Ubuntuism. And Ubuntuism means that I care about the well-being of every individual human, right? So if I'm going to care about the well-being of every single individual, I'm going to be looking at the results, fam. And let's look at the results. Let's talk about it, bruh. Let's talk about it. If the ANC is such a savior organization, right? If they're such a savior organization, how do we have more drug addicts in our country today than we did before? How do we do that?